Hello there. I hope you're well this morning. I'm just looking today at the 1 Chronicles 15 version of the bringing of the ark into Jerusalem. It's the end of the chapter. It's from verse 25 onwards and goes across into the new chapter, into chapter 16. And this is such an important story. It's something we can really learn from. I was saying yesterday about how we worship, and let me just read you what this passage says. It's 1 Chronicles 15:27. David was clothed with a robe of fine linen, as were all the Levites who were carrying the ark, and the singers, and Shenaniah, the leader of the music of the singers, and David wore a linen ephod. So all the Israel brought up the ark of the covenant of the Lord with shouting, to the sound of the horn, trumpets, and cymbals, and making loud music on harps and lyres. And as the ark of the covenant of the Lord came to the city of David, Michal, the daughter of Saul, looked out of the window and saw King David dancing and making merry, and she despised him in her heart. And that is very sad, because there are times when we see exuberant worship and we despise it. We think it's wrong. We think it's shameful. I mean, I think the thing that she objected to, which is how it says it in in Samuel, she says to him, look, at all the servant girls will be watching you, because he wasn't wearing a great deal when he was dancing, just a linen ephod, and he wasn't in his kingly robes. He wasn't looking majestic. He wasn't leading a great procession with a lot of singing and dancing behind him. He was prancing around. He was lifting his knees up. He was shouting praise to God. And all the people, there were cymbals, trumpets, horns, a lot of shouting, a lot of noise, loud noise. And there is a psalm that says, make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all the earth. And that's what we're called to do, is to make a joyful noise to the Lord, and not to criticize each other when we're at worship. There's a warning there for us, to be careful not to criticize people when they're at worship. They're not our servant, they're God's servants. And yes, David was undignified. David did not look like a king that day. David looked like just any other person in that procession, worshipping God with all his might. He wasn't thinking about what other people thought about him. And so can I encourage you, when you are at worship with God, when you're worshipping God, especially when you're with other people, don't criticize other people's way of worshipping. Don't take them to task for it. They're not your servant, they're God's servant. And the other thing is, don't worry about what other people say about what you're doing. They're answerable to God as you are. And if your instinct is to throw your arms in the air and dance before the Lord, do it. You're in good company. We're in good company. David did it. David did it because God is worthy of everything. And if you're conscious of people when you're at worship in a church, when everyone should be worshipping God together with you, how on earth are we going to stand against those people who aren't even sharing anything of our faith with us? Poor Michal. She was the daughter of Saul, but she was David's wife. She criticized him, and it says that she never had a child the rest of her days. David turned away from her because she did not share his great love of God. she did not share his urge to worship. And that is such an important relationship to have. So that's my thought for the day, is be careful about criticizing other people, and don't be a man pleaser. We can't please people in our worship of God. We need to be pleasing God, not people. Difficult thoughts for the day. David is very challenging at times to us, isn't he? I hope you'll be blessed today, and I'll see you tomorrow. God bless you. Bye-bye.